Welcome back to Santa Fe Fashion Week's YouTube channel. For you met before, I'm Stephen Fong, executive producer of Santa Fe Fashion Week. So today we're here at your model workshop. Both of you, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Hello, I am Deidre Michelle with DME Talent Agency, and this is the amazing Katherine Smith. She's a supermodel out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's also the director of the 505 Locker Fashion Show. And today we're doing a model class just to kind of put some technique on the models during their walking and their posing, make sure that they are comfortable back on the runway, comfortable back in their heels, comfortable hitting their poses. So whenever they get on the stage here in a couple weeks, they'll feel in their body and ready to go.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for inviting us along, and we'll get some great video for you.
Hey. Yeah, Elle, right there. Kim, you're good. Joelle, waiting for you whenever you all ready. What color shoes? Come right here. Everybody take one tiny step to the right. Joelle, come right up here so you can see yourself. There you go. Can everybody, and hit a window. So, can everybody see themselves in the mirror?
For now.
Yes?
Yeah,
okay, so
thank you.
We're going to start with poses today. Raise your hand if you've never taken my pose class before. Hey! Okay. Yeah. Nice. I get to pick on like all of you. This is great. Okay, so the biggest thing with posing is knowing your poses. Elle asked a really great question. She said, do you have certain go-to poses or a certain amount of poses that you always kind of keep in your mind? I personally feel like you should have some that you've perfected that you naturally go to and you know how you look doing them. I feel like you need to pose in front of a mirror or in front of a camera so that you can critique yourself. If you see a pose that you know looks good on your body, remember that one. Do it consistently, do it often, get comfortable with it, perfect it. If you see one that looks wild, don't do it again. You know what I mean? If you see one that feels weird or doesn't look good, remember that and don't do it again. Most of the time, Skylar, can you see, baby? Can you see yourself in the mirror? Come on this side, yeah. Also, as you're doing your poses, just make sure that you guys are not hesitating through them. The biggest thing, and this is kind of gonna be like the freeze game that we're about to do, when you hit a pose, you have to hold it. I don't care. So if you start to put that hand up on that hip, don't halfway through and then switch to the other side. If you're gonna do it, go for it, commit to it, and hold it, yes? Most of the time in a runway show, you're only gonna get 3 poses total. The way that I run my runway shows is you do one initial pose at the beginning of the T. That is your, hey, I'm here, yes? One pose. Then you're gonna walk the runway, then you get 2 poses at the end, yes? I have found if you do more than 2 poses, you're like, hey, 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 hey. And then like, it's like, all right, girl, the whole show's not yours. Go, 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 yeah? I feel like 2 poses is really most of the time sufficient unless they specifically ask for more, right? Now, the other thing is you wanna hold each pose for at least 3 seconds in your head. So if you go to the end of the runway and you hit your pose, and you go, the cameraman's like, dang it, I didn't even get to click, yeah? So you also have to remember that if you're on the runway, they're wanting to get a photo of you in that outfit. If you push through your poses too quickly, they're not gonna get a chance to take that picture. But if you hold the pose for too long, it's awkward.
You're waiting for that head nod.
You're waiting for that head nod, like, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? So 3 seconds to me has always been kind of a good standard. Now, realize, this is like basic technique. So if you go to a designer and they say, we want 5 poses, or you go to a designer and they say no poses, or you go to a designer and they say, we want you to do a crossover in your walk instead of a standard walk. You always have to adjust what they're telling you. But basic technique is something that you guys all need to have as far as posing and walking goes, and then you can adjust from there. So what we're gonna do now is play the pose game. Yay! Now, the other thing I need you to remember, not all the times are you only showing off the front of your outfit, right? So if my camera's right here and say I've got this sickening jacket on with like a back design, yeah, I'm gonna hit one pose here, but then, boom, I'm gonna let them see it, yes? Now, one thing I will say, if you ever turn to the back, don't ever take your head away from the camera, yes? So if you ever do a pose, if this is your front, and you go to face the back, don't just do that. You have now lost your complete connection with not only the front of the audience, but the camera. So if you show off the back of you, always keep that connection. in one way or another. Get that head around in one way or another. Otherwise, if you're just here, what do they look at? Nothing but the booty.
Unless you do something cool where you're like, boom, like you just
But
turn
see,
to
look
the
at that,
side.
but you can still see
Like,
her side
You
frame.
turn that leg, so you gave yourself a figure. I've stood like this for just like a simple sample shot for an outfit. But then they're like, okay, I need you to actually pose. And I just took that photo, I turned that foot, made my triangles, and I turned.
And then now
That's all I
look,
did.
when she turns her face to the side, even though she didn't make eye contact, it's still connection with her face. Yes. So when you guys are practicing any poses to the back, make sure that you still keep, some type of that face connection. Now also remember that whenever you're on the runway, you have a 360 audience. So don't ever just think, this is my only performance factor. Yeah, you have to really like deliver that energy completely around your body. Also, the other thing is when you go back to walk after your poses, you're not done. You're not done. Yeah, like I'll have people that'll own the walk, own
And
the
then
poses,
they'll-
and then they'll walk back and they'll like this, looking down, walking on the. You're still on stage. You can still be seen. So just because you're done posing, it's a flip of the page for your energy to turn around and walk back, okay? So let's talk about Zay. This is not gonna be for you, but it's good for you to always listen. Ladies, let's pose in some heels. Let's talk about our heels. So everybody put your feet together. Okay, as a model, we don't ever wanna do this. It automatically affects not only our posture, but us showing off our outfit, right? So me personally, I always want my models to stack themselves before they present themselves. So stacking yourselves means chin up a little bit. Now, not high enough that they can see up your nose. Realize that if you're on a 3-foot high runway and the photographer's down there, and then you go and do this, right up the nose, baby. So make sure that it's not too high, but also we have to be aware as a model of our chin. And if we go too low, we do this weird little goblet thing, right? The other thing you have to remember as a model is if you smile, you cannot. Yeah. You know how you naturally smile? Yeah, so always think, chin up a little bit. Now, shoulders down. What naturally happens, especially for us as females when we get nervous, we do this, yes? So you have to tell yourself, shoulders down. So everybody, feet together. Chin up a little bit, shoulders down. Now chest up, natural presentation factor. Now take this little part of your thumb and move it gently right on the outside of the butt cheeks. You see that? Now, look at yourself in the mirror and go back to where you were. Can you all see yourselves in the mirror? Hands by your side. Now, go chin up, shoulders down, chest up, hands back. See how we just completely presented ourselves. Now the next thing, don't move a muscle, squeeze your quads. Squeeze them. I need women to understand that when you are in a high heel, if you release the quads, not only do we gently bend the knees now, but we've released our power and our strength. So you have to keep your core tight, squeeze the quads. Now, the other thing with the fingers, don't fidget them and don't squeeze them. That shows that you're nervous. Release the fingers, hands back, chin up, shoulders down, chest up, squeeze the quads. Now, look at my feet. Do we see this? Imagine if there was a stage light behind my feet right now. Whoosh. Or even here. If your feet are together, put them together. Also, So think, heels together, toes together, ankle squeezing, tight quads, chin up, shoulders down, chest up, hands back. Now we are presenting ourselves. Bring the hands back even more. Even more.
Okay. So when you say use your core, make sure you're not
Sticking out the ribcage.
you want to engage that bottom core, because when you walk, you want to suck in your stomach. So I'm gonna walk straight. So when I gotta like loosen up. And also make sure like I see this. So loosen up your arms a little bit. Like make sure.
That's a little too
Yeah, so you guys don't want to walk like robots. We don't
So
want
when
this.
you walk-
Yeah.
When you walk, make sure you're relaxed. Yes, my arms are dropped. I'm engaging my core and I'm walking. But there's nothing, like you have to relax. You have to learn how to move.
How to move
How
while
to-
your body is set.
Yes.